Have you ever stopped to think if your greatest wish as a parent is actually hindering your child's future? Most parents answer without hesitation, I just want them to be happy. But is that truly the best path? Socrates would say no, and as strange as it may seem, so would the Bible. Today, I want to lead you through an uncomfortable but necessary reflection about how the desire to protect can turn into a trap, and how we confuse happiness with comfort and love with fear. Socrates, the philosopher who preferred death to stopping his questioning, was feared in Athens for a simple reason. He made people think. If he were alive today, talking to worried parents, he might ask a question like this: do you want your child to be happy or virtuous? Because for Socrates, true happiness was not a feeling. It was the result of a virtuous life. And that included courage, self-control, wisdom, and justice. But how many parents today are concerned with this? Many are more worried about preventing their children from experiencing frustrations than about teaching them to endure pain wisely. The comfort trap: avoiding pain, missing growth. Have you noticed how modern parents try to prevent every kind of discomfort for their children? Oh, he got sad because he lost. I'll talk to the school. He doesn't want to eat this, so I'll make something else. Bored? Here's a phone. But here's the point. Every time you remove pain, you also remove growth. Children who never hear no become adults who don't know how to deal with frustration. And here, biblical wisdom comes in strongly. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Notice, it doesn't say, give the child everything. It says, train. And training involves discipline, example, and even pain. Jesus never promised a comfortable life. On the contrary, he said, in this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world. Yet many parents want to spare their children from every possible affliction. But here's the paradox. Children who grow up without facing the world become adults whom the world devours. Literature is full of such examples. In The Little Prince, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry says, it is the time you have wasted on your rose that makes your rose so important. But time requires effort, and effort requires pain. And pain, properly taught, forms character. Wisdom over distraction. Socrates believed that no one errs on purpose. People do wrong out of ignorance because they don't know what true good is. And that's why he taught young people to think, to question, to examine their own lives. An unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates. Are you teaching your child to think, or are you distracting them with screens, food, and presents? Are you teaching them to be strong, or teaching them to avoid everything that challenges them? In Ecclesiastes, Solomon, the wisest man in the Bible, said, "The end of a matter is better than its beginning." Because only when we look at the whole of life do we understand the value of small struggles. Today, perhaps you are tired. Perhaps you feel guilty for not giving everything you'd like. But here's a relief. What forms a strong child is not the gift you give, it's the example you offer. Socrates was not rich. Jesus had no possessions. Yet they changed the world because they were examples, because they taught people to think, to act, to choose good even through pain. What it truly means to love a child. To love is to protect, yes, but to love, above all, is to prepare. It's to teach that the world doesn't revolve around them, that no sometimes saves more than yes, and that true happiness is not an emotion, it's the fruit of one who lives with courage, faith, and character. Jesus did not shield his disciples from suffering. He prepared them to endure it. So I return to the initial question, do you want your child to be happy, or do you want them to be strong, virtuous, integral? Because one thing is fleeting, the other builds an entire life. And perhaps if Socrates were sitting beside you, he would say, teach your child to think, or the world will think for them.